Hello and welcome to True North EV. I am here inside Luna the Kona, and we are going to talk today about Luna getting a Fitbit, in a way. On the last episode, I talked about getting the Bluetooth OBD2 reader, and so I asked for help. And you guys came to the rescue. John did. John told me about, it's called the Soul EV Spy. It is an app that you have to pay for. It's $20. And it's essentially online. You hear a lot about the Torque Pro, but you have to set everything up. So you have to take files, move it, all that. And where the Soul EV essentially has done that already. They took everything, put it in, they update on the paid version, they update it, they keep it all set and going for you, so you don't have to worry about any of that. I've used it probably 4 or 5 times. I actually just took the longest drive I've taken with it. It was about a 30-minute drive to get here. And so I'm actually recording in Birds Hill Park, which I've done before. Nice little quiet area. But on this app, you actually can figure out how much power you're using, how much energy you're using. It's saying right now that I'm using 0.9 kilowatts, 368.5 volts, 2.3 amps. Maybe that's what's left in. No, it can't be. That's what I'm using. And they call it a battery cell map. So it tells me what each battery pack is sitting at. So the majority are 3.76, but I do have a few that are 3.74, but it looks like it's constantly charging those back up to 3.76, keeping it all at 3.76. Then it has actually battery management system info, and some of this info I can't actually see. I don't have the OBD2 reader that they recommend. They have a recommended one. And I had to print out a bunch of papers so that I can actually have it all handy. It's called the Conway OBD2. So KONNWEI OBD2. And just so anybody that's listening on an Apple, this app is for Android only, unfortunately. If you do have an Apple phone, though, there is quite a bit of cheap Android phones out there, or Android tablet, because it just needs to have that Android operating system. But yeah, going back to the Bluetooth deal, so I guess it sounds like in my reading, some of these OBD2 readers connect nicer with the vehicle than others. So you might be getting different info depending on the OBD2 reader that you have. Going with the battery management system, says my battery DC voltage, 368.7. It's got the battery state of charge. It also has the battery state of charge, what's displayed. So it's what I can see, which on the car it says 67, on the app it's saying 67.5. But then it shows me the battery state of charge, which is a different number. So I'm sure there's people that actually know way more about this than me. But yeah, it's nice knowing all the little things, and I'm just kind of learning. And so I'm sure eventually I'll understand a lot more of this. But it even goes into telling me what my odometer reading is, what my 12-volt battery is sitting at, and tells me my VIN number, tells me the engine, which or the motor, which is a 3-phase AC, 150 kilowatts, and it is a LiPo battery, 356 volts, 180 amp hours. My vehicle is actually the 51,042 Kona built in Ulsan, South Korea. But it even goes to telling me, where is that? The onboard charger, what its temperature is. So with those that are looking at putting a frunk in, this might be good because it will actually tell you how hot it's getting. Because the onboard charger is what does sit right on top of the motor with the Kona. The Nero would be the same. I'm not sure about other manufacturers, but I'm also not sure how many other manufacturers, like the Nissan Leaf, I don't think you could do a frunk in it, but I'm sure somebody will prove me wrong and I'll see a Nissan Leaf with a frunk, and that would be awesome. But yeah, if you're looking at installing a frunk, it's good to know how warm that charger gets so that you at least know what you should or shouldn't put in there. And so yeah, it even has all my tire pressures, and tire pressures and tire temperatures. So right now it's kind of colder out, so all my tires after this drive are sitting at 6 and 7 degrees Celsius, because we are sitting at 0 degrees Celsius. And we got our first snow that we think is going to be staying. So we'll see how it goes. And I have actually switched the Blue Link app to, in the app, you can actually have 3 different climate settings. So I have spring, fall, summer, and winter as my 3. So it actually sets, you can enter what temperature you want it to heat up to, and if you want front and rear defrost on. So my winter setting, I have it set to 23.5 degrees Celsius. So nice and toasty warm, so that I can actually drop it down once I get in the vehicle. Mostly I have it that warm, so my son doesn't freeze when he gets in the car, and my wife. Also, so it actually melts all the snow off the windows. So this morning I was up at about 5 in the morning shoveling our lovely snow, and I just turned on the car so that I can clear all the snow off just by my hand. No brushes or anything. It got warm enough that I could clear it off, and so when it was time for me to actually go, everybody else was scraping their windows, and I didn't have to worry about that because I had the defrost on, get everything all nice and toasty. The only thing I wish it had was actually so that I can turn the seats and the steering wheel on, which I believe you can do with the Teslas. And the Teslas also have the heated rear seats, which doesn't matter so much in my Kona since I have the black cloth seats. So it's not that it's using a whole. It's not super cold. It's like I find leather gets super cold, but even with the preheating it, though, it would even warm up the leather, so it wouldn't be as cold. Going back to the app, it if you're into the whole air conditioning, it actually tells you all the temperatures, all the pressures that's in the air conditioning setting. And I think that's like there is a lot of stuff in here if you really just want to geek out and know all this stuff. You can, and I'm sure you can have multiple OBD2 readers to find even more information. So yeah, that was a great app, and I do again thank John for letting me know about that, because it was a lot easier than trying to figure out how I was gonna do that. So now I can actually see what's going on. Oh, and there was another setting in it. Let me just quickly pull it up. It does say in the app that it will tell you if there is any fault codes. But there it will say, again, depending on the OBD2, fault codes, which would be great to know if you do have, I guess it's still called a check engine light displayed. So yeah, I don't know how much you can really do with it. I don't even know what kind of check engine light stuff would be on here. I guess the other thing I do want to talk about, since it's the day after the Hummer EV unveiling, I'm going to talk about that. Since we've done it for the others, let's talk about the Hummer EV. Me personally, it's a classic GMC truck, is what it looks like to me. Like, I don't completely know my GM trucks, so I'm going to go with like a Sierra Silverado type deal with a Hummer looking grill front end. So hopefully by that, hopefully it means they're looking at switching the Sierras and Silverados over to electrics. Maybe it will make it easier. It has a massive battery. I've seen multiple different numbers. I watched a bunch of different YouTube videos since apparently the unveiling was, what was it, a 6-minute long commercial, I would call it. But there was jerry-rig everything, had a more, call it in-depth video, and Everyday Engineer, I believe, was the other one that I got a majority of the info from. There was anywhere from 150 to a 200 kilowatt battery pack that it has for 350 mile range, which is not that bad actually considering the size and weight of that. But the frunk, I do love that they are also going with the frunk, and I'm hoping Hyundai, Kia, Chevy Bolts, Nissan Leafs, I'm hoping they all get the hint that people want a frunk. And so the front, though, seems to mostly be fitted for the glass. I guess we'll call it a glass roof. They can actually pull all the glass out. So you have like an open top. And, but, I don't, it looks really cool. It's a lot of money. And it's got a lot of gadgets. a lot of gadgets that are really cool when there's warranty, and a lot of gadgets that will get really expensive repair. So, but if you are into more of the, I guess, off-roading, I don't know how many people take $100,000 vehicle off-roading, but if you were to do more off-roading with it, it would be a great off-roading vehicle. Looks like it has a multitude of different settings, especially there was 2 under vehicle cameras, which essentially will help guide you so you know what you're driving over, more for rocks or logs or whatever, so you don't get hung up, or you kind of can choose your line if you're rock crawling. And it also had an airlift, so you can lower the vehicle down, or actually I don't think you can lower the vehicle down. There is certain times when it will squat down, or you can raise it up. For if they call it extraction mode. So if you're a little stuck, you just need that extra, I believe it was 6 inches that it gave you. So yeah, all the videos seem to be fairly short. I think the longest video I saw was about 45 minutes. So I would highly recommend, if anybody's into the whole electric trucks coming up, I would recommend you guys go check it out. I wouldn't complain about getting one. The box was a little bit of a disappointment. It's only 5 feet, or I think the Cybertruck is even 6 feet. So, kind of disappointed that they keep shrinking the size of boxes, so they're becoming not overly great for being an actual truck. I go with, if you have an 8-foot long piece of 2x4 or whatever, you're hanging out of the box, like, by quite a bit. So, I don't know, if you got the money and you're into GMs, and it is going to be a great truck, we'll see how it all goes. But apparently the first year is already sold out. I guess it was the moon topography on it and the moon boots that really sold people. But it is actually going to have a 0 to 60 time when it uses all 1,000 horsepower and all that. It's going to be, what is that, they call it 3 seconds, but there was other videos that I saw that was like 3.2, 3.5. Although, when you're in the point whatever, 3 point whatever, that's crazy fast for how big and heavy that thing's going to be. So, when you're actually doing the 0 to 60, and you use their weird, I believe it's called watts to freedom, that's when it's going to squat down, and it's going to use all 1,000 horsepower that it has available, and I believe it was 1,000 foot-pounds of torque at the motors. They keep quoting this 11,500 pound-feet of torque, but that's at the wheels. So, where most, like for gas or diesel vehicles, they go by at the motor. So, yeah, there's the crab walk, there's 4-wheel steering. It's a great vehicle. But again, it's also not available until 2022. And with the Cybertruck coming out next year, I believe Rivian's coming out next year, next June, July, I believe they're saying now. I not sure when Ford is coming out with their F-150 electric, but there's going to be competition in the market. So, and I don't see, other than all the little tech gadgets, which I don't know how usable that's going to be on somebody spending $100,000. I don't know how much they're actually going to use, but it's going to be interesting. I do love that there's competition. I do like the looks of it. It sort of has self-driving capabilities, the Super Cruise, but it's only on certain roads. But actually, the thing with the Super Cruise that I really do like is it has it looked like a little black plastic strip on the top of the steering wheel that apparently has sensors in it and a camera to watch to make sure you're actually paying attention. I do like that, especially in the steering wheel. It can only really look at the driver, which sort of is the only one that matters when it comes to driving. So I kind of like that better than Tesla's camera in the mirror, essentially. So yeah, that was kind of cool. And the inside, what I liked was in the back, I guess, where your back sits on the back seats on both the passenger and driver side. There's like little storage bins behind. So tons of storage in it, which is the nice part about having the electric is you got tons of storage. So yeah, if you got the money and you're a GM person and you really like the Hummer, there's a lot of nods to the old Hummer. And it looks like it actually has much bigger, more usable windows. I found with the, Hummer H2, the windows, when you're actually inside, the windows feel so small, or they're up so high. I didn't like the feel of the door windows. They felt cramped in to me, but maybe others are different. Well, others are different. There's obviously going to be those people that really like it, all that. So, for the Kona recalls, I haven't heard anything about it. I'll just throw this at the end. But I do park outside. I do park away from all the buildings and all that. So I am not worried about it at all. Haven't changed anything for it. That's all I got for you guys today. And again, I want to remind you guys, next Thursday, Miva is having their AGM. It is going to be online. It's on Zoom. So if you guys are interested, you're in Manitoba, or even the kind of they call it Northern Ontario, I call it Eastern Ontario, around Kenora and all that, I'd say you guys can join, and come to our AGM, come vote, and if you are a member of Miva already, I would highly recommend you running for the board, and just become involved, and help us spread the EV greatness that is available. So if you guys want, check me out on Facebook at True North EV Podcast, on Twitter at True North EV Podcast, and I'm super slow at the YouTube at True North EV Podcast. You guys can email me at truenorthev@gmail.com or truenorthevpodcast@gmail.com. I do check both those regularly. Also check YouTube and Twitter regular. So, yeah, it's Facebook and Twitter regularly. YouTube, I check, not regularly. Again, I'm really slow at the YouTube deal. And again, I would recommend you guys checking out EV Resources magazine, Facebook, YouTube, podcasts. They kind of got it all going there. The magazine you do get for supporting them on Patreon, $1 a month. And Kilowatt Podcast. Both those they do a lot more of the newsy type stuff. So they're way more knowledgeable than me. They would probably actually understand all those other little technical gizmos and gadgets that app tells me. Maybe in 3 to 6 months I'll actually know what majority of them mean, and I could give you guys much better info. So yeah, if you guys have any feedback, any questions, any comments, just want to tell me about maybe another app or something you guys have found on the app that you were surprised at, let me know. So on that note, I'm going to say have a great week, everybody, and we will talk to you later. Toodles.